I'm trying to think of one redeemable factor for it. Like if you had a gun to my head and said, "Come on, Dom boy, think of one good thing to say about it," pull that trigger. I can't think of one. If you thought Rings of Power was bad, Witcher Blood Origin is 100 times worse, in my opinion. Wasn't a huge fan of the Witcher series. I don't know if we still have our reviews up on our channel, but the Witcher missed the mark for me, and it felt like it could have been there. This one is so off, dude. Like, I absolutely hated watching every episode of this.
You watched the whole thing?
No. I think I'm on episode 3 right now of 4.
Okay.
I'm halfway through it. And it is painful. And luckily, I found some sort of plugin I can play Netflix at 2x speed because I needed it. There's so many scenes, dude, that just. Okay, well, before I get into it, what was your overall thoughts on The Witcher Blood Origin?
This show is so bad. This show is so bad. We just had our stream for the Fellowship of the Ring, and we jerked that movie off, and we jerked off Lord of the Rings, and we will continue to jerk off Lord of the Rings. And so many issues with this are things that I would bring up in defense of why Lord of the Rings is still so good. Like, just a couple examples before we really get into it. Like, the sets look weirdly like clean, and they look too fantasy almost, where it's not convincing that it's on this earthly plane like they want us to believe. The people, they look like modern people in cosplay. They don't look like people from that age. Fuck, it's terrible. And also,
I got it.
Go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying, like, this looks like cosplay, right? Some person cosplaying as an elf. You wouldn't think this was from Lord of the Rings or from any like legit fantasy series, but turns out, yeah, it's from Netflix's The Witcher Blood Origin.
And you know what, though? It's not just the costumes either. Like, something about her face is just done wrong. And I'm not sure if they're not being as picky on the casting or if they're just really slacking on the makeup / like actor and actress ability to use their face when they talk or something. I really don't know what it is.
Well,
it's off.
This series starts off on a bad note for me right away because they actually have, as I don't know, some part of the narration. This is this elf torturing the worst character, in my opinion, in the original Witcher series, the Bard. Oh my, I hate this guy. And he starts off and it makes no sense. He's like in the middle of all this like war, right? And he's like, fuck. I'm like,
dude, I know. Shut the fuck up. What's that?
Why? It's like someone's like, I'm finally. I live by myself, so I can say fuck whenever I want in my house. Mom and Dad don't tell me no. It's so funny.
Those are like the first words in the show, too. It's like the first line. My wife watched it with me, and she said, like, no one would say that from this era. It's like, yeah, I know. I mean, no one would probably speak English either, at least not in the way we do. But yeah, it's actually just so stupid. And they said, like, I don't give a shit in this, and a couple other things, too.
I hate that.
They do it in Game of Thrones, but I don't. Something even that has more similar qualities to Lord of the Rings, where it's more convincing, so maybe that's to do with the aesthetics or whatever.
Well,
but look at this guy's jacket. I mean, come on.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's like only one, like if you look at Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, if they say fuck and they say these kind of things that kind of throw you off, it's only one of those things of all like the factors you take in consideration when you kind of click the believable button on the series. The Witcher, there's so many times you're like look at, like you said, look at his jacket, look at this guy's getup. He looks like he could be from the early 2000s, like he could be in a band. Instead, he's supposed to be taking place in this fantasy, whatever series, and then on top of it, he's speaking like fuckity fuck. And just the way he carries himself too is just like not of that era or not how you portray it. It's such a, when people say a modern day telling, this is a modern day telling of a fantasy series, and it's absolutely atrocious.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And you know what? I've only seen one episode of this, but I don't think that this. Okay, I think this is actually one of those shows that hurts not only itself but the show that it's spinning off of. Yes. And I know you don't like the original Witcher anyway, or you didn't care for it as much, I guess, as a lot of the people did. But
I wanted to, but yeah.
There's certain things in that show that actually I was pretty intrigued by, like these monoliths or whatever, like these portals that lead to other places. Like, sure, they could fuck it up on their own or whatever in season 3 of The Witcher and going forward. But in this, I think they're going to do it for us. We don't even have to wait until the season 3 of The Witcher comes out, because I've only seen the first episode. I could not watch the second one. Well, but even what we see in this, they're already ruining concepts that we got in the original Witcher. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, just these 3. I don't know if you get to Michelle. I think it's Michelle Yeoh. That's the actress, one on the far left, the Asian actress. Do you see her by the end of episode 1? Right.
Yep, I saw her.
Just the simple exposition dialogue you have between actors is so heavy-handed, ham-fisted. It just draws like, oh, you're part of the dog clan. Well,
Yes.
I
You're the
hate
Raven
you.
clan. Like, shut the fuck up. I know. It is.
There's
It's
no
spelled
subtlety in
out.
anything they're saying, and it just like hits you over the head. But they're telling you like a million things at once, so you're sitting there like, I'm trying to absorb all of this in. At the same time, this is so badly done. It's just grueling to listen to. It's like a bad lecture, right?
It is a bad lecture. And, I will say, though, at the same time, like, Michelle Yeoh's character is probably the best character in the show. She's, like, the most interesting or the most believable. Her aesthetic is actually the most believable of all of them, which says something, I think. What's the guy over there? What's his name? The Dog Clan dude.
Yeah, I don't remember, but he gets punished for fucking the queen, and like there seems to be no punishment for her, or excuse me, queen, princess, whatever the
Yes.
time. And she just gets to go on her merry way, and he gets banished by his own father. But yeah, I don't remember his own
It
thing.
was horribly executed, that whole plot. Like, he saves them or whatever, and she's like, "Oh, I'll fuck you." And then you find out afterward, like, that's a huge no-no for him, and so he gets banished, like, "Okay, I'll leave." And then we find out that his whole clan dies, like, at some point in
Both
the
of
next,
them.
like, 5 minutes. Like, it was
Yeah,
so weird. Like, it was
I know.
breakneck speed, but it wasn't nothing was emphasized right either. It was like a double negative, but
Vasectomy.
yeah, it's a double vasectomy. It's reversed. I can
Well,
impregnate again.
well, what I don't mind is if you're gonna give us a ton of exposition, do it early, and then let me get into the story and let me kind of breathe in it. Right. In this, there even like the because I'm trying to think like in comparison with Lord of the Rings, you could give me scenes where it breathes like in Lord of the Rings, like with a scene and people kind of just doing like slice of life, like we talked about before with kind of Avatar as well. But in this, they don't give you any of that, and the slice of life stuff they would give you probably would be done so badly. So it's like I just don't want to be in this universe at all. Like anytime I try to think to myself, like, okay, there's a better way you could do this series or at least this different scene. I just keep thinking to myself, no, they'd fuck that up as well. Because even the action scene that these three go into, I'm like, just it's not the worst, but it's just like, would I want to watch this for this now? Like, is that the only redeemable factor for it? And no, it's not. And this girl in the middle here, that's part of the Raven clan, that she's like, she decided I don't want to be a warrior. I want to be a bard, kind of. They call her a lark,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, the lark.
Yeah. What the fuck? And then also, did you in the episode 1? Did you get her people? Did you get some of her fans coming up to her and be like, "Sing us the song"?
Oh
She's
my,
like,
it's so
no.
cringe, so
Oh
cringe.
my.
Because she sang, okay, at the beginning, she goes to that place
Yes.
and she sings that song, like, Blood Moon or Blood
No,
Raven
it's
or
like
something.
Black Rose or something like that.
Black Rose, that's what it is. Yep, Black Rose. And she sings it, and by the way, it was super cringe to hear her sing that for some reason too. I don't know why. It was just cringe, whatever. And then they have the super heavy-handed, like, oh, drunk guy trying to rape this girl in the middle of a crowd or whatever. Anyway, later
I
on,
know.
yes, when they have that ginger girl say like, "Hey, are you the Lark?" She's like, "I don't go by that name anymore." It's like, what? As of like 2 seconds ago, it's like she's be like, "Yeah, I'm the Lark. Like, you recognize me?" It's like, "Will you please sing to us Black Rose?" Oh, you mean the one song that we've heard before out of you like 10 minutes ago in
Right.
the fucking show? And then she starts singing it. It was so bad, dude. It was
You think
so bad.
you think she doesn't want to sing it because she just want to sing the hits? She's like, come on, now I got some new material. I'm trying testing out.
Exactly. Yeah. Come on. I know you come to the show for the hits, but there's some new content I'm trying to advertise here.
Boo.
She doesn't go. That's why she's not going by the Lark anymore, because she's
Yeah.
only known by those famous hits from the past. Rebranding, baby.
I do love how like the world's greatest detectives, like you said, as soon as those guys come to like kill them at that one little small village that they're at, they put it together like,
Oh my
wait,
god.
this means that. Oh, that means they killed all of our people. They're coming
Well,
for us. Well, I guess we got to work together.
It sure is convenient for him that the three people that tried to kill him were like people from completely different warring tribes or whatever it
know.
was, warring kingdoms. It's like, oh, I guess these three must all be allied on a national level, and they must have gone to our individual villages and killed them all, and then they just
Yeah.
get affirmed to the whole series.
I-
It was bad.
I just want to give a warning out there to anybody. Do not watch this series. If you were thinking about it, like, "Well, maybe I will. Maybe it'd be funny to know what they're talking about." Do not watch this.
No,
There's no
don't.
redeemable factor for it. It's absolutely trash. And I don't know what I'm trying to think of one redeemable factor for it. Like if you had a gun to my head and said, "Come on, Dom boy, think of one good thing to say about it," pull that trigger. I can't think of one.
I can't think of one either. And it's this whole thing too. We're supposed to like look. I don't know this, but I'm assuming based on the lore we got from Witcher 1 and 2, seasons 1 and 2, about the elves and the humans or whatever. We basically see no elves in The
Right.
Witcher because they're like extinct from a human elf war.
Yeah.
I feel like we're supposed to see this and think like, oh, like the elves, like so we're finally getting some backstory on the elves. It's so cool. It's not cool. It's not cool at all. It's also not cool to see things like the monoliths and this magic that we learn about in The Witcher be expounded upon in this series. It's not cool at all. It's ruining it. And I don't know if I would say you shouldn't watch this, especially if you've seen The Witcher or especially if you haven't. But either way, don't.
I think that elf queen, that's the one we see in The Witcher, right?
Right? She's still alive?
Yeah, I think so. Or at least it looks like it's played by the same actress, I think. So, I mean, that's not a selling factor for me, just to let you know. But I do think that's like, there's something there's a connection to the other series here, but not enough for me to continue to watch it.
Makes me question the elf lifespan in this, if that's the case. Because didn't they introduce this by saying like we're gonna see the origin of the first Witcher, which is I'm pretty sure the Lark here.
Well, and I will say we're not the biggest Witcher fans by any means, but yeah, this is not doing anything for normies. And if anything, this should be made for normies. This is like the number one normie kind of made content, right? For what people to get into it. This isn't that heavy. It's giving you all of the information, but at the same time, it's doing such a bad job of doing it that it's just making you question whether you should watch The Witcher season 3, which then now Henry Cavill's not going to be a part of it. So it's like, dude, The Witcher is dead. The franchise for Netflix is dead.
It's dead. I remember when The Witcher season 2 came out, at like the post-credits scene or whatever of the last episode was a trailer for this. And I thought at the time, this looks like shit. This looks like a CW, like the difference in quality between like a regular sitcom and then Drake and Josh, like on Nickelodeon. You know, you can just tell it's off.
Yes.
But it's excusable because it's made for kids and it's kind of stupid, right? That's what the difference looked like, and it is totally lived up to that. This show sucks. I don't have anything else to say about it, man.
It sucks.
Don't watch it.
If you look at the still image right here, you could not tell me if I said, hey, is this Willow, Rings of Power, or Witcher?
All of the above.
Yeah, it looks like, just looks so generic. There's nothing cool about it. And I will say this is probably the most accurate image they put in the show that represents this show is these wanted signs. And of one of them, the elf here on the left-hand side, that's from the Dog Clan, has a penis drawn on his forehead. To represent what? How piece of shit this the series is? I don't know.
The next stage in elf evolution, dick foreheads, like the Balchinians.
Oh, I'm also questioning whoever drew this. Put the penis by his mouth. That's the funnier thing. What is he, just a unicorn now that has a penis and balls on his head? That doesn't make sense. That's not funny.
Maybe that's the thing. I don't know what world they live in. It's like Middle Earth-esque thing. Maybe that's what's funny to them, dude. It's like teabagging, except a really precise teabagging.
I do not want to spend one more second in this universe.
Oh, you're gonna have to. You got to watch episode 4.
I know. I got to watch it.
You got to finish it all. Baby.
Yeah. All right. Well, let us know if you have seen this. What do you think of The Witcher: Blood Origin so far? Go ahead, smash that like button. Like, I don't know. Like what? What's smashing in this series? I'm trying to think. Oh, like
smash this guy's balls on his head, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what the princess probably saw on him. It's like, dude, are you the guy with the dick forehead with balls? He's like,
it's like, yes, I am. Can't you tell?
Yeah, she wrote him off. But go ahead, smash it like that, and subscribe if you want to see more content like this.